What's up, my beautiful girls? I know sometimes it's hard, but I'm telling you, there is so much power when you learn to control your emotions. So let's talk about it. What's up, my beautiful girls? It's your girl, J. Marie, and you are watching and listening to Girl Talk with J. Marie. And yes, y'all, it's Girl Talk, but a wise man is listening. Thank you so much for tuning in again. And please, while you're at it, I want you to subscribe, like, and share. Subscribe. Thank you to those who have newly subscribed. Appreciate you. And we will continue to get more and more in tune with each other. Starting off with this episode, which is about controlling those emotions. And although it's hard for me to control my love that I have for you all who have subscribed, I'm going to do my best for right now because I want to get straight into this. One of the first things I like to do is prayer on the spot. Prayer on the spot is my prayer ministry, and this is where I like to give us a word connected to the topic, because there is a word for everything, folks. A word for everything. And in today's episode, it comes from the book of Proverbs, because you know there's a lot of wisdom in Proverbs. In Proverbs 14 and 29, it says, "One who is slow to anger has great understanding, but one who is quick-tempered exalts foolishness." Basically, those of us who have a crazy temper and we like to act a fool too fast, it's considered to be foolish. But you know what? Those of us who know how to take a woosah, be patient, calm down before you climb up, there's some wisdom and understanding in that. So I want to touch on that today because I think it allows us to get something that we all truly want: honor and respect at the end of the day. And you'll get that when you have a way to control your emotions, when you know how to tame yourself. It's not easy. I'm not saying it is. But just like the word says, it's foolish when you act a fool. It just is. That means the same thing, but y'all know what I'm saying. First things first, I have this down for something that I think we need to think about when it comes to controlling our emotions. Now listen, I'm saying this to me and you. Just don't get it confused, especially if you know me personally. We know I'm emotional, but I still know that I need to have self-control in that area so that I can do better and be better, okay? So the first thing is, never let them see you sweat. Now, I bring "never let them see you sweat" back into the conversation because y'all know that's one of my favorite sayings from my mama. She always says that, never let them see you sweat. I think about this because of the times that she's talked to me about it. It's usually been in a professional environment. Whenever you're dealing with something at work, yeah, of course, if you are home and somebody make you mad, you just might snap. You just might cry. You just might cut somebody out. But when you're at work, you don't get to do that. So you gotta never let them see you sweat. You gotta keep it composed. Even if you are on the inside sweating up a storm or on the inside boiling, you have to figure out how to maintain that countenance that shows them, oh, you ain't got me, I got you. And I'm going to show you that I got you. And yes, that's how it comes off. But in reality, when you get in that car, you're probably going to scream, cry, cuss, yell, all of the above. But hold it together. Why do you never want to let them see you sweat? Because when they know your buttons, they keep trying to push at them. When people know what they can do to get you off your gear, your game, they keep trying to push at them. It's no different than when you watch sports and you see an athlete who's got 4 fouls, and if the person knows they got 4 fouls in a basketball game, I think about Draymond because that's one of my favorite players, and I know Draymond, he be in his emotions, and Draymond be snapping, but it's like, when they know they got you, they just do little stuff. And they know that you go, oh, and go crazy, and then another foul. And next thing you know, you fouled out the game when people really need you. So in other words, you don't want to foul out of the game when your job needs you. You don't want to foul out the game when your mate needs you. You don't want to foul out the game when your kids need you. You got to figure out how to never let them see you sweat in that moment, and then find a place where you get to fully release all of that. Because I don't want you to think that I'm telling you to keep your emotions inside. I believe that you should emote. It's like emotional intelligence. That's the purpose of it, is you need to know when, how, and where to do that. But what I'm saying is simply make sure that you never let them see you sweat so they don't get a chance to keep doing stuff that's going to cause you to get pissed off. That's all. Or sad, or whatever, or falling too hard in love. We'll talk about that in another episode. Another another thing that I want to say when it comes to controlling your emotions is that when you control your emotions, it makes you more powerful. There's more power in being self-control. When you know how to say no to your flesh and cut off attitudes and cut off you being too attached and clingy and lovey and all of the above. Sometimes I say lovey-dovey and all into it because you might be doing it at the wrong time. You got to be able to have some self-control instead of calling all the time or texting all the time. Sometimes you need to fall back, and it helps you in the long run. Just trust me on that. Pray about it and let God give you revelation. But it helps you in the long run. It just gives you more power when you're in control of your emotions, because I think it ties into that whole professionalism thing. It ties into that whole leadership thing. Whether it's the head of your house or the head of your job, you still got to know how to maintain power, and not in a controlling way, but maintain power by staying in control of your emotions, teaching other people how to react when things are hard, teaching other people how to react even when things are great. Because if you get too in your emotions and you happy-go-lucky and you get sidetracked and forget to stay focused, then you're not building up to what's supposed to happen next. So yes, celebrate, be happy, be proud, but then you got to maintain that control and get yourself back in gear so that you can move on to the next thing, because it's not over for you. So I think there's so much power whenever you control your emotions, and you don't want to miss out on that. And the last thing I'll say to this is actions speak louder than words, y'all. So if I'm showing you a certain thing about me when it comes to me controlling my emotions, as opposed to saying, no, motherfucker, ooh, whatever I want to do out loud with my mouth, I mean, that's cool. They're going to be like, all right, she look crazy, she sound crazy. But if I sit there and I'm silent about something, and if you have made me mad and I want to try to sit here, and maybe it is time for me to cry, cuss you out, yell, whatever. But if I choose to not do that instead, and all right, okay, thank you. My actions is me walking away. Whoo, that's scary. I'm gonna tell you right now, when somebody don't fight you back and you wanted to fight, or you thought you was about to have a fight and they don't fight you back, that's scary. And that also says so much more. It also, if you done, you'll just be done. You ain't gotta talk about it. Actions speak louder than words. Walk away. If I ain't gonna sit here and fight about something, walk away. So that's the kind of stuff I want you to keep in mind when you are controlling your emotions. It makes you more powerful, but also your actions are gonna speak louder than your words. Same difference if you slap somebody. Okay, just wait. Don't slap nobody. But it's real. It's like, I'm not gonna talk about it no more. You get in my face again. Boom, boom, boom. And then boom, I'm not inciting violence. I'm just telling you that the action spoke louder than my words. Me telling you I'm gonna hit you didn't mean nothing. Now that I did, okay, I quit. I promise. Do not hit nobody. But it's a good example of what I'm trying to say. Your actions speak louder than your words. Okay, so moving on as I sip tea. I want to reiterate. I didn't tell y'all not to emote. I told you to have self-control while you carry through your emotions. That means wait until you get home. Wait until you get in the car. Wait until the next day. I'm going to leave this last tip because I learned this. Don't make emotional decisions or say even emotional things if you can avoid doing it in the moment. Because what happens is when we sleep on it for a day or two, you usually don't feel the same way. Whether it be self-control, even going shopping and stuff, like you emotionally purchase things or emotionally eat stuff. But if you just give it a second, sometimes we wouldn't have done it in the first place. So practice it this week. Let it become a habit. Practice it one day at a time, one situation at a time, and see where it gets you. Now, I want to go ahead and move into, girl, talk about it. And why do I love this? Because I get to tell y'all something that y'all should already know. And if you don't, I'm putting you up on game. First thing is, the reason we're talking about controlling, oh, my bad. Oopsie. We're talking about controlling your emotions is because of this. RESPECT. Could y'all see that? That's my respect. My respect pin. I got my little bracelet on, or this isn't a bracelet, but you know. It's from the movie Respect. I got to go see the screening this week before the movie came out on Friday the 13th. Aretha's movie Respect, which stars Jennifer Hudson and Forest Whitaker, Heather Headley, Marlon Wayans. There were so many incredible stars in this movie. It was delicious. And I'm telling you right now, you don't want to miss it. If you grew up hearing Aretha as a kid and you know your mama and them was playing it, getting tipsy in the background, playing dominoes and cards, you can appreciate this movie. I am so grateful that they let J Hud do it, who, come to find out, if you know anything about Jennifer Hudson, she's always loved Aretha Franklin, but she sung that song on American Idol for her to be chosen to be on American Idol. That is what a full circle looks like, and I think it's such a beautiful thing. And her and Aretha had been talking about her doing that movie, I guess, for like 15 years before it even came out. So I'm sure Aretha's smiling down in heaven. It was incredible, y'all. I was crying, I was singing. And one thing I really loved about watching that movie, I got to go to a screening at the Baldwin Hills theater. And one thing with all my black folk, which I love that, one thing I loved was that there were some older people in there, and just watching the pure joy that was on their faces because they were in there listening to those songs from the 50s and 60s when they was coming up, and or watching when they were coming up in the 60s, and listening to Aretha, Aretha was so anointed, and she loved her relationship with God, and to see how God connected her career and her relationship with him, it really was so empowering and so exciting. And I'm telling you, watching them old folks smile and sing them songs. One lady was singing like she was at the house. It was so funny. That was cracking me up. But anyways, shout out to the entire team. Marlon Wayans killed it. Forrest Whitaker killed it. It was just off the chain. Another thing I noticed while watching that movie was the difference of respect that women had in that time versus us today. I'm able to say a lot of things. I'm able to do a lot of things that they were not able to do. There were so many things that had so many control issues that the men had in her life. And to just watch her overcome that, it really inspired me. And it also made me appreciate the work that was put in before us so that I could have Girl Talk with J. Marie. So shout out to everybody who came before us and all those men who figured out how to get some respect, okay? And that's what we need, okay? Just a little bit. Hey, just a little bit. Oh, y'all gotta go watch the movie. It's so good. And that also gives you the opportunity to support black. Because you know the next thing I want you to do, buy black or donate to a black nonprofit. It's easy peasy. Google it if you need to. But right now, you can go support the Respect movie and knock two birds out with one stone. Entertain yourself and so into the people of the show, of the movie. All right? Thank you. Now, we're going to circle it back. What are 3 things that we learned today when it comes to controlling our emotions? Well, number 1, never let them see you sweat. Number 2, there's power in controlling your emotions. It makes you more powerful. And the last thing I'm going to tell you is actions speak louder than words, y'all. That's the summary of all of this. Your actions on how you react are going to speak louder than anything you could say. Now, make sure you subscribe, like, share, comment. What do you do to control your emotions? Tell me. Some of y'all be getting high so you don't emote at all. I'm just playing. But if that's what you do, hey, that's on you. But just tell us what you do so we can try to practice some of it if we can. All right. I love you so much. Thank you for watching. Mwah. Till next time. Hurry up, BCT. Find out what it means to me. Ooh.